So we've talked about back control, we've talked about side control. Next we're going to talk about guard. So if you face me, so you think about two kind of guards. We have what we call a closed guard, where Joe has his legs wrapped around and I'm kind of sitting in it. This position you get more commonly at the lower levels, and it's, especially low level, it's really overpowered for Joe because I can't really attack him. If I try and choke him, he can use his legs to extend me away, whereas if he tries to choke me, he can use his legs to pull me in to make the choke worse. And it's also really hard for me to get out of. I've got to somehow break his legs open. So we're going to cover one escape I can do. If I put my hands underneath here, then this kind of, it serves two purposes. One, it helps me keep my distance correct, and it kind of slows down what Joe wants to do with his hands. It's harder for him to grab stuff. And then I'm just going to stand up. There's loads of ways you can stand up from here. One way is to come forward and jump up. Another way is just to push or to stand up. We don't really care about that at the moment. Now, as we come up straight, I'm going to step back with my leg, and this leg should pop open. And now we're in an open guard. An open guard is any time when I'm beyond his legs and his legs are open. If you turn. In open guard, we're going to focus on one position for the attacker. There's loads of places I can stand in, but where we want to be as the attacker is one leg inside and one leg outside in this position. In our series of attacking the guard, we're always going to try and get to this position. So, let's say Joe does a side control escape. Here we go. I'm going to come up and I'm going to step into that position we just talked about. I like to have one hand on the hip and one hand on the knee or the shin. Likewise, we just did that closed guard escape. I'll push in, stand up, step back. You see both his legs are on the outside, so I'm just going to step over and come to that position we just talked about. Now from the attacker, we're going to cover two ways to get around his legs from here. First one is a Torreando pass, where I just kick out with one foot and step. We do this as a warm-up. The legs on the inside, controlled in some way. I'm going to step out in one motion. This isn't going to stand anywhere, this is going to go straight and stand next to his hip there. Let's step far around. So get past the legs, stand, and then we come back down. Side control. Now, let's say that Joe crosses his feet behind my leg, off the ground please. So here, the Torreando might work. Bam! I might be able to just kick straight through it. But if Joe is holding on tight, bam, it's not working. If you want to do a massive kick, it's not working. But you see how this kick has opened up his hips? Now I use this other hand to keep his knee in place as I come through, to slide my knee over the top, around the side control. So this is one where you can chain them together. Here, I can't get in, he's keeping his knees too tight. He's not letting me knee slide, kick round, Torreando. Other hand, a kick, he's not letting that work, but I've opened his hips up, and now it's very easy for me to knee slide round. Those are our two main passes we're doing for the moment. Now I'm going to talk about what the person on the bottom can be doing. So, let's say we're in this standing position where Joe has got to that attacking position, out one leg in, one leg out. We're going to do what we call a tripod sweep. Now, there's lots of tripod sweeps, this is one of them. So I'm just going to bump my hips over a little bit, grab his leg, hook my other leg behind his knee, other leg on the hip, and just push him over, and then come up in some way. Try that again. So Joe's here, come over slightly, just to let me grab his leg, yeah? I might need to move my hip slightly, grab his leg, hook, step, kick, come up. Likewise, in close guard, if Joe stands up, I can do a similar, it's also a tripod sweep, but I basically grab both his legs with both hands, drop my hips down, push over. Come back to close guard. So those are two sweep options. I'm going to do one attack option. So we're going to do a triangle. Joe's trying to put his hands on somewhere. I'm going to grab both his wrists. I'm going to push one to the centre and pull the other one. I'm pulling both, and as he pulls back, I keep hold of one and push the other one. I'm going to put one foot on his hip to raise my hips like this. So my left foot is staying on his hip to raise. I'm then going to bite my leg across his neck, lift the other leg up and form this triangle motion. Now, the more I turn and look down my legs, the tighter it gets. The more I pull on his head, the tighter it gets. And the more this arm goes across, the tighter it gets. So you can do all three, put the arm across, turn the angle a little bit and pull on the head for a really tight one. And that's the triangle choke. On the warm-up side, one thing you learn is the technical stand-up, where you put one leg straight, you stand with the other foot, and you make this opposites. So the opposite arm and the opposite leg. You want to block your opponent here, and you want to lift up so that the weight comes off the ground. If you imagine your opponent pushing on you, you should be quite stable here. You should be able to resist their pressure, and then step back and stand up. It's a nice, safe way of standing up when you're kind of being attacked.